week, we introduced Social Security rulings as another source of information for the Social Security Administration vocational expert in training or a professional who's looking to expand their knowledge in the profession. Today, we're actually going to talk about the Social Security ruling as it pertains to the vocational expert. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Marilyn Stroud, CEO and owner of Stroud Vocational Expert Services. I'm here today to talk about being, becoming, and growing as a vocational expert for the Social Security Administration. Thanks for joining me. So just like we talked about in the introductory last week, we brought in the Social Security ruling as a topic and went through the index briefly, just to make sure that everybody understood there were certain points. Today we were going to get into Social Security ruling 004P. What this governs is the use of you, the vocational expert, and what you provide as a vocational specialist in evidence being a source reliable occupational information for disability decisions to be rendered by an administrative law judge. This ruling as a whole is a clarification of standards for you to use as the vocational expert and how you will provide evidence at the hearing and in front of the administrative law judges, as well as other specialists who provide evidence for disability determination services. These rulings also references reliable sources of occupational information for evaluation of disability claims. The main focus of the ruling is that it really specifies that before they can rely on your evidence alone, that their adjudicators in this case is normally the administrative law judge, and there has to be an explanation for any conflict between what you provide in occupational evidence and the existing information found within the Dictionary of Occupational Titles. That is their overall standard for job evidence. The great thing about Social Security rulings is that they also provide overall pertinent citation authority. So if you want to understand where the actual source, regulation, and the Code of Federal Regulation comes from, the ruling actually points you in the right direction. As you continue down the ruling, you're going to get to understand policy interpretation, such as Step 4 and 5 of the disability determination process, and how SSA relies on the DOT as the primary source of information in making disability determinations. The key issue that is introduced here is that the vocational expert for SSA and occupational evidence provided by you should generally be consistent with information supplied by the Dictionary of Occupational Titles. However, if there are unresolved conflicts between the DOT and what you say, then it goes to an adjudication that looks for an overall explanation for the conflict. This means that what you provide using your professional experience as a vocational expert still needs to specify appropriate sources of information and how you rely on that to give your impartial opinion to the administrative law judge. The SSR gives reasonable explanations as well as some evidence that conflicts with policy overall, such as how the ruling gets into the biggie, transferability of skills. Closing out this Social Security regulation, you're going to see cross-references down at the bottom, which is a great source of information in every single SSR. The cross-reference at the very bottom of this page will link you to every other SSR that is pertinent to the topic at hand. Hopefully this topic was a useful introduction to you, and we will continue to grow and learn in its usefulness during your time as a Social Security Administration vocational expert. If you like what you hear today, don't forget to subscribe and give us some comments or ask for any assistance, and we'll be happy to roll in. If you're ready to go ahead and become a Social Security Administration VE, there is training for that, and you can register through the Stroud Academy at the link in the show notes, and we'll get you into the VELaunchpad where you can go from CRC or ABVE to a VE in 40 short lessons, getting you prepared to testify with confidence as an impartial witness for the SSA. Thank you for coming today, and we'll see you next week.